America's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
We are following several big stories as we come on the air this morning. Breaking right now. A fryer fire at a North Lincoln fast food joint. How crews were able to quickly put out the flames, why it took a few hours for the restaurant to reopen. Plus, a helicopter crash in the Strait of Hormuz. How a pair of U.S. pilots are recovering this morning, and when President Trump says a deal could be made this week. And later, WIC worries. The state auditor is sounding the alarm on a fraud in the program. What changes he wants to see made. But we begin today with the potential for severe weather later on this evening. Right now, it is calm outside, but man, oh man, is it warm and muggy out there. Here's a live look at our Allen Communications camera. We got temperatures already in the 80s out there. It just kind of feels like rain and storms are headed our way today. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. It's going to be hot and humid today, already kind of is, and the potential for storms is there very much so as well. The Nebraska State Patrol warning of the warm temperatures over the next several days. But let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall with more on the heat and the storm potential today. Houston, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, actually Omaha right now is the warmest temperature, and we got heat indices. Feel like temperatures already in the lower 90s out there. Now the further west you go, it's a little cooler in the 70s. Now check this out, 87 up towards Omaha, and then some spots only in the, like Kearney, 74 degrees. Let's take a look at satellite. Well, that could be a reason. A little bit of cloud cover, mainly staying out towards south of I-80. Omaha has seen a little more sunshine. They're just seeing a little bit of that upper level cloud cover. A few sprinkles moving on through. If they make it to the ground, and you can see there's a decent band of some cloud cover hanging south of I-80, and then much of the state really seeing that sunshine. Taking a look at the storm fuel, the instability, really not much as of right now. The bulk of it is in parts of northeast Nebraska. Well, once those clouds move on out, that will change, and then we'll get some more storm fuel. Not much changes to the risk for this evening. You can see, all right, 6 to 8 p.m. That will all move towards the east. Now it's going to have some large hail and some gusty winds as it moves towards the east. There's going to be two main spots to focus on. It's going to be northeast Nebraska, and then our southern counties just south of Grand Island. That's about 8 to 9:30. I would say that's going to be our best chance here in Lincoln and Omaha to see some storms, and then they really intensify as they go up towards the northeast, going into the overnight hours. And then we are looking at temperatures pretty hot. 87 in Omaha. The dew points, they're creeping up there. And the heat index value, no 90s out there just yet. That will change. I'll show you the changes in a few.
Okay, Ben, thank you very much, Houston. Tell us how you're spending your day today as it gets extremely hot, whether you're taking a morning walk with your dog like citizen journalist Melanie in this video during a recent hot day, or keeping cool at the pool like Thomas here. Share that with us. Just download the Now Local News app and send us your videos today. Breaking now, LFR extinguishing a fire this morning at a North Lincoln Burger King. It happened at North 11th Street and Cornhusker Highway around 5:30 this morning. LFR telling us a fire broke out in the fryer of the restaurant and spread to the roof. That's where LFR spokeswoman says a crew was able to put out the flames. The health department was sent to the location, but we're unsure what for. LFR says the power had to be shut off in the building. The cause of the fire is under investigation. We'll let you know what that was on our Now Local News app. Now to the war in Iran, almost a deadly moment near the coast of Oman. The U.S. military confirming 2 pilots were rescued after their Apache helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says the pilots are fine, and Olivia Rubin has more details on the daring rescue.
Today, new questions after a U.S. Army Apache helicopter went down near the Strait of Hormuz. 2 pilots aboard that chopper, the U.S. says, were rescued by the Navy's first ever drone task force, an unmanned vehicle picking them up and bringing them back to land. According to a U.S. official, the drone had a speedboat-like design. U.S. CENTCOM saying the helicopter was patrolling regional waters. It's not clear exactly why it went down.
So we're going to have to see whether it was a mechanical situation, whether there's a malfunction that set it into the ocean, or whether it was hostile fire. We just don't know yet.
President Trump saying the pilots are doing okay.
The pilots are fine, yeah. Nobody injured.
Hours before, U.S. forces firing on an oil tanker said to be attempting to cross the naval blockade. Here you can see smoke pouring from the ship, and here a helicopter hovers above, lifting sailors to safety. And with the war now passing 100 days, President Trump still has no deal with Iran, but insisting one could come any day.
We should be able to do it in 1 hour, if you want to know the truth. I don't think there are any sticking points.
Back and forth strikes between Israel and Iran this weekend, putting negotiations on shaky ground. The fighting has paused for now, but both sides warning they are ready to resume if provoked. Iran's top negotiator saying they will, quote, fight at our own time and negotiate at our own time. And the price of oil falling amid President Trump's optimism, down to under $90 a barrel and about $4.12 for a gallon of gas, according to Gas Buddy. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Developing now, Big Ten officials are set to discuss a movement not to play Texas Tech in any college sport. This is coming as Nebraska's athletic director Troy Dannon informs his staff that they aren't allowed to schedule Texas Tech either. Now, Big Ten officials are starting this movement because of Brendan Shoresby. The Texas Tech quarterback is being granted a preliminary injunction, making him eligible to play this season after his gambling rehabilitation. He's reportedly placed thousands of bets during the time in his college, including games his own team has played in. Texas Tech releasing this statement. They say they remain committed to supporting Brendan's recovery and ensuring compliance with the court's order. Still, this news shocking most of the sports world.
I don't want to sound overdramatic here, but gambling has always been a thick red line. The fact that he is going to be or has been legally cleared to play college football is simply something that we've never seen before.
To Yahoo Sports, the commissioners for the Big Ten and SEC are expected to be on a call with the presidents and chancellors during virtual meetings today. We'll keep you updated. Happening tonight, we could have a clearer idea of EMS situation in Aurora. City Council is scheduled to vote tonight on a bid to purchase emergency medical services. This decision is the talk of the town as the meeting is being moved to Bremer Community Center to accommodate more people. We've been following this story for weeks now. The firefighters union proposing a change last week to avoid EMS becoming privatized. But the board could make that decision tonight at 7:30. We'll let you know how they vote tonight at 10 and during our morning show tomorrow. Breaking overnight, a critical win for the San Antonio Spurs in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And they did it in front of a sitting U.S. president for the first time. President Trump making history attending Game 3. Security was tight, and so was the game. ABC's Sophie Flay breaks it down.
It appeared to be a frosty reception at Madison Square Garden for President Trump. Trump, the first sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. Fans forced to line up for hours to navigate security.
He's a genuine Knicks fan, and so yes, there's some inconvenience to the fans here, but I think we should be using sports to create more of a sense of community with people, not less.
This barrier set up around the arena. An outdoor watch party canceled. All to avoid scenes like this after the Knicks win Friday night, when dozens of people were arrested. But there was no celebrating for Knicks fans last night. In the second half, it was all Spurs.
Three-pointer, lines it up and knocks it down.
San Antonio's defense locking out New York.
Layup off the glass, can't get it. Harper.
The Knicks making a late run, but it wasn't enough. The Spurs snapping the Knicks' 13-game playoff win streak. San Antonio erupting in celebration as disappointment spread across the Big Apple. Some Knicks fans paid more than $65,000 for premium tickets. Even the average ticket price topped $7,500. Some angry fans posting, "Trump cursed the Knicks," sharing video of the president appearing to nod off during the game. But Trump calling the experience amazing.
I thought it great. I mean, I thought it was amazing, actually.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Happening today, the mayor is set to make a major announcement. She and music community representatives will be talking about the Music Box Artist Development Program. It's designed to prepare local musicians for success in the music industry. The announcement is at 1:30 this afternoon at the Music Box. We'll get you caught up with what she says about the program in tonight's shows at 5 and 6. And tonight, it's a busy Board of Education agenda for LPS. They are set to consider several raises for employees, starting with Superintendent John Scretta. He's set to make more than $348,000 if approved by the board. Raises for both nutrition workers and paraeducators is also up for a vote tonight. It would be a more than 5% raise for nutrition workers and a 4.72% raise for paraeducators. We'll let you know how the board votes tonight at 10. A lot going on for you this midday. That includes a surprising new link between tech and procreation. Why researchers say smartphones may be causing people to have less babies.
pointing to smartphones as a potentially significant factor for why people are having fewer babies. A new report claims phones could account for more than 30% of the decline in the fertility rate among women ages 15 to 44.
The working theory is that smartphones may be changing human behavior. People are spending less time socializing in person. People are dating later. They are having less intercourse and forming fewer long-term relationships.
The CDC has reported a 23% drop in the fertility rate since reaching a peak in 2007. That's the same year Apple released the iPhone. In the early years of the iPhone, AT&T had the exclusive contract. So researchers compared fertility rates in areas that had widespread AT&T coverage to counties with little or none. Researchers saying as smartphones became common, time spent with friends and sexual activity fell sharply, while consumption of pornography, a possible substitute for a sexual partner, rose.
Can you say that smartphones are really killing the mood and leading to less babies?
This report really does not conclude anything other than there may be an association, there may be a link. Smartphones may be involved in that, but there is a laundry list of reasons why people are having less children.
Experts say other factors must be taken into account, including more access to contraception and economic reasons, including childcare costs. Birth rates dropped after the economic crisis of 2008, but when the economy picked up, experts say there was no rebound in births, meaning the issue is more complicated than cost of living. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
Well, it's warm and it's humid out there. We've got some cloud cover, though, but we're going to be seeing some changes here in the next few hours. I'll show you the changes in a few.
Most
NASA officials are giving an update on scheduled Artemis 3 mission. Today, we are expected to meet the astronauts that are set to test future moonwalks next year. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez with a preview.
Hey there, it is good to see you from the Orion spacecraft training capsule here at the Johnson Space Center. You know, this is being called one of the most highly complex missions that NASA has ever undertaken. And today we're going to meet the astronauts here from Artemis 3. But first, I want to take you back to Artemis 2, because you remember that historic mission in April. That was that mission around the moon. 4 astronauts on board capturing those incredible images of the moon and planet Earth, going farther into space than any other humans before them. Reed Weissman, Victor Glover, the the first person of color to travel to the moon, Christina Cook, the first woman, and then Jeremy Hansen, the first Canadian. And it turns out they brought batons with them to symbolize that it's a relay race and that each mission really builds on the next. They were always thinking about these next astronauts. And this next mission is going to launch next year. It won't go to the moon. It's actually just going to orbit the Earth, but it's so important because it will test rendezvous and docking capabilities between NASA's Orion spacecraft and lunar landers from Blue Origin and SpaceX. These will be the landers that bring the astronauts to the surface of the moon. But first they have to test them and eventually build that moon base. Back to you.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, on severe weather days, as we know, we got to get that instability, that storm fuel in the atmosphere. Well, I have the surface analysis overlaid here. You can see, all right, we're starting to get some of those brighter colors. An area of high pressure out there. Notice no storm fuel just out here. That's because why? All right, check this out. That's where all of your storm fuel is currently in northeast Nebraska. That will change as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. Well, you can see we got a little band of cloud cover just south to I-80. Meanwhile, all these spots up here seeing some nice sunny skies. Even northeast Nebraska, they've been seeing sunshine this whole morning, and that's going to play a big factor as we go into this evening. So if you live in northeast Nebraska, expect some strong to severe storms tonight. I would say from about Columbus up towards the northeast. Tonight, it looks like you get the best chance that low-level jet going to be kicking. And right now here in southeast Nebraska, well, let's actually zoom into it. Why not? Got a few sprinkles right there. Most of this little cloud cover should move on out of here in the next hour, and then we'll see some sunshine. But right now, it's about partly sunny. As we go into the next few hours, I am tracking. The models have been pretty consistent with a strong storm somewhere out here along this dry line, which is going to develop storms as we go into this evening about 5 to 6 p.m. Now that's going to be from about North Platte up towards the north right there, and that's going to be where your storm is. Now all of these storms as we go into tonight are going to take an east and then a northeast track up towards the northeast. Here's about 7, 8 p.m. Could see some strong storms down here towards our south, but now got to watch these storms out here. These could have the best chance for a little bit of strong winds and then some hail, maybe even a brief rotation within that. All right, as we go into about 8 to 9:30, this is going to be our best chance here in Lincoln. If not, I wouldn't doubt it might be a little later, about 9 to 11 p.m. But a line of showers and thunderstorms right there. It's going to be some damaging winds, and then got to watch this storm too. This has been given a little bit of a storm track as it moves towards the northeast. You can see what it does right there. That's going to be some strong to severe storms, large hail, damaging winds, and then about 8 p.m. through 11 p.m. tonight, that's when your tornado threat will peak across northeast Nebraska. Could see some strong to severe storms near and around Lincoln and southeast Nebraska, as that's going to be one wave of the low-level jet, which will be kicking here and there. Wednesday morning, some scattered isolated showers and thunderstorms will still be lingering out there. All right, we're just going to take a pause here and there. There's the risk for today. We're talking some winds up to 70 miles per hour, some hail up to tennis ball size, and then a few isolated tornadoes, I would say from about Columbus off towards the northeast. They did shift this tornado risk. That was the only thing that they changed, this SPC update. Going to track some Lime to tennis ball size hail, and then some 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. Really, that is the main threat, wind gust, and then an isolated tornado threat for tonight. Here's Wednesday morning. Here we go. We're going to be seeing dry conditions for much of the afternoon, sunny skies. Let's go into Wednesday night into Thursday, where this just forms out of nowhere. How about that? Some models do have it about Grand Island, just going through Lincoln and Omaha as we go into Thursday morning. So that's something to keep an eye on. There's going to be some factors south or north, but that's going to be our next severe weather chance, and it looks like this. Slight marginal risk, hail, and some gusty winds, main factor with that. So you just got to get through tonight, and then we'll see how that plays out for tomorrow. Right now, you got those upper level clouds, some low level clouds hindering on some instability. Stationary front, cloud cover, high pressure, no clouds right there. But as we take a look at temperatures, upper 70s, low to mid 80s. We're currently at 87 up in Omaha. That's our warmest spot, 83 here in Lincoln. Well, what's the dew points looking like? Wow, they're looking like the mid to upper 60s. Not too bad right now. The highest heat index we have is Omaha, 89. Not too bad on the heat side of things right now. Another look, southeast Nebraska. There's our line right there. Storms will move towards the east, develop right there. And that's where you can see precipitation chances here in Lincoln, about 8 to 11 p.m. Temperature-wise, it says this model says, hey, we'll get into the mid-90s today. I don't know. We'll see how that cloud cover ends up. Dew points staying in the low to mid-70s. You hinder that in there, triple-digit heat indices. Now tomorrow, all right, we're going to be hot again. Keep that in mind. These next 2 days, yes, they will be hot. So if you're a roofer, anything outdoors, make sure to stay extra hydrated. Then we cool down as we go into the weekend. Saturday looks like our best chance for some more rain and showers before we warm up next week.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still ahead, an urgent manhunt underway. Why police say the person is wanted for murder and how the father of the victim is reacting this morning. Roy explains.
A desperate manhunt is underway in Philadelphia for the person who police say shot and killed 22-year-old Penn State student Billy Schmidt.
1949, there for the one possibly shot on the highway. Rescue is still en route.
Surveillance video obtained by ABC station WPVI shows the moments before the shooting early Saturday morning as Billy was walking home from watching the NBA Finals at a local bar. One of the men confronting him, Billy then pursuing the man on foot. But as they turn the corner, one man throws Billy's cell phone into the street. The other turns around and shoots him.
I'm shocked when they stole his phone. He chased the kid. When he got to the corner, another guy came out from that side, and they shot.
His father, Bill Schmidt, hoping for justice in his son's death.
And for him to get shot like that is a travesty. I want to find the two people and make them pay.
Penn State telling ABC News in a statement, "We are heartbroken over the tragic death of William Schmidt."
And Billy was a digital journalism student. He was set to graduate in December. A vigil will be held tonight in his honor. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Channel 8 News and Midday, a big new revelation about WIC in Nebraska. Why the state auditor says it's favoring the rich and is now calling for major changes in the program. If you're at home.
News source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Breaking now, some major changes may be coming to a food assistance program for women and children. The Nebraska State Auditor today exposing major shortcomings in the WIC program in our state. It's meant for low-income families. But after a state audit, Mike Foley says his team found loopholes allowing high-income earners to get free benefits. Though the annual income cutoff for the program is $40,000 or less for a single mom and $50,000 for a family of 3. Foley says WIC has other pathways allowing people with higher income and large assets to get in. He says state auditors found cases where people make hundreds of thousands and are getting benefits, including state employees and one UNL employee. He's calling for a review and reform of the program. Foley stating, quotes, having a safety net to help the truly needy is one thing, but when Nebraskans who own $500,000 homes and boast annual incomes in excess of $100,000 are able to receive many thousands of dollars of free benefits intended for the poor, it is time to blow the whistle, end quote. We are reaching out to Mike Foley's office for more comments on this story. You can hear from him tonight at 5. Now to a severe weather alert for you. Dangerous heat in Lincoln today as well. You're taking a live look outside at our ABC Seamless camera this morning. We got temperatures already in the low 80s, 83 to be exact. Oh my goodness. And yeah, Houston, let's bring you in here. Just downright muggy and gross outside today.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I have spiders in my apartment. I said, come on, I need a cold front, get these spiders out of here. He's just chilling on my recliner. I said, oh, this humidity. No, I promise I have a clean house and apartment. But yeah, I guess he just wanted to get inside. Well, this morning we have a little bit of cloud cover, and that might play a factor, but notice got a little bit of sprinkles out towards southeast Nebraska. I had a band of clouds just south of I-80, pretty thick cloud cover right there. All of this cloud cover will move off towards the northeast and lift here in the next hour or two. And then that's when we'll start to see some storms. Notice the storm fuel is starting to sneak on up towards our southern counties. The bulk of it, northeast Nebraska. Now, northeast Nebraska, if you're from about Columbus up towards the north near O'Neill, you will see some strong storms, if not the strongest storms as we go into tonight. There's the level 3 enhanced. The rest of the state still in that level 2 slight risk for that large hail and damaging winds. Now, north of North Platte, we could see our first strong storm as early as about 6 to 7 p.m. this evening, and then a few maybe weaker storms just along and south of I-80. All of these storms you see here will carry some hail and some winds, maybe even an isolated tornado threat. Right about there, you can see just northeast of North Platte, and then right there near Grand Island towards Columbus. That's going to be about 8 to 9 p.m. Those storms will take a track towards the northeast, and then you can see those are going to be those strong to severe storms, large hail, damaging winds, and an isolated tornado threat headed towards O'Neill and then up towards Sioux City into the overnight hours. Even some lingering rain showers and thunderstorms. But I'll show you the whole forecast, what to expect coming up Maine weather.
Talk to you then. Thank you very much, Houston. New developments on the parasite problem picking up speed in the U.S. Officials say the number of confirmed cases of New World screwworm have doubled. Their plan of action on how to end the outbreak is taking shape. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson breaks down those details for us.
These developments obviously represent a serious threat to our livestock and wildlife, but they haven't caught us off guard.
On Monday, officials gathering in Texas to outline their plan of attack when it comes to the parasitic New World screwworm. The fly burrows into animals feeding on their flesh. It can be deadly. Last Wednesday, a confirmed case of screwworm was found in a calf, marking the first time a cow has been infected in 60 years. Since then, authorities say it has spread. 3 calves are being treated along with a goat and now a dog in New Mexico. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins says they saw this coming ahead of time.
We have been prepared and preparing since early last year for the reemergence in America. This project already was on warp speed, but now it has been put at literally the very top priority for the Department of War and the Army Corps of Engineers.
Officials already releasing more than 4 million sterile flies in the areas where they're monitoring cases. These flies will mate with screwworm flies and prevent them from reproducing. Rollins says this program is the best attack they have, and they're working to produce more of the sterile flies to release. But they're also calling on ranchers in Texas and along the border to be vigilant.
They now become the front lines for this battle. We now know what the enemy looks like. We now understand what we have to do.
Officials reassuring everyone that the screwworm does not impact food, and this is not something to worry about when buying groceries. Rollins says they're working quickly to eradicate the infestation as soon as possible.
Our goal is to have enough sterile flies deployed and out into Texas and wherever else this happens to be before the next summer season pops up.
Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
Right now, the Lincoln Sports Foundation is hosting musicians from around the world. The Colts, a group from the Drum Corps International, will be in the capital city throughout this week, and they want to come down and see the drummers go marching on. Now, the World Drum Corps International will be here in Nebraska until the beginning of July, when they will be competing at the Drum Across America competition in Omaha. The group has 170 performers and 50 staff, representing 30 states and 5 countries from around the world. Now, LSF and the Colts are also exploring the possibility of expanding their partnership, so it will continue over the next few years. New details: Lincoln's mayor is putting public safety front and center of her proposed budget. The 2-year plan calls for a $14 million overall increase, and it keeps the city's property tax rate unchanged. Some of the areas in focus include health and safety, infrastructure, and economic opportunity. Channel 8's Emma Norwood breaks down what it means for taxpayers.
Keep Lincoln safe, strong, and growing. That's the focal point for Mayor Leary and Gaylor Baird's proposed 2026 through 2028 budget.
Lincoln residents count on excellent city services that make life better today, and this budget will do that and position our community for an even more prosperous future.
The mayor's proposed budget totals more than $316 million in tax-funded spending during the first year, and then more than $334 million in the second. These 2 graphs showing where that money will come from, broken down between sales taxes, property taxes, and other revenues. But at the forefront of it all, public safety.
This proposed budget continues solid investment in public safety that looks like adding police officers, adding firefighters and paramedics and EMTs, adding another ambulance medic unit, and continuing to make sure that we have partnerships that also promote the safety no matter what kind of emergency need our community members have.
The budget also directs funding toward Lincoln's infrastructure, including roads, sidewalks, water, affordable housing, and community partnerships. This graph showing how much funding each of those focuses would receive. Through projects like Central Library, Project O Street, Canopy Yard, and the Multi-Model Transportation Center, Mayor Gaylor Baird says her emphasis on improving quality of life is made possible.
I'm so proud that we are continuing on our foundation of success with this budget as we grow an even safer, stronger, more successful, growing community. We've got a lot of things to be excited about in Lincoln. We're making some major civic investments that will grow quality of life and economic opportunity for our community members for generations to come.
There will be a public hearing on the mayor's budget on August 3rd before City Council votes to approve it on August 24th. The new budget starts September 1st. Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Thank you very much, Emma. Don't forget tonight, right here on Channel 8, Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Vegas Knights holding a 2-1 series lead. If you haven't been watching, the first 3 games were tremendous. We're looking for another tight one tonight. It starts at 7 right here on Channel 8. Still ahead this morning, free help for farmers. What one local expert is doing to support those in the ag sector hit hard by natural disasters and hardship. on 8, a new resource for Nebraska farmers and ranchers when they need it most, and it's completely free. One financial expert is sharing his expertise through one-on-one counseling and workshops. He's helping farmers make a plan and get to where they need to be after wildfires. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva explains.
David Hopp just became a financial analyst with the Center for Agricultural Profitability, not even a year after his retirement. In partnership with Nebraska Extension, his position was created through a grant by the Distressed Borrowers Assistance Network and the Rural Response Hotline. He's hosting workshops and now will offer one-on-one counseling to those who need it, completely free and completely confidential, no strings attached. Why?
It was kind of God's timing, actually, primarily because I have no skin in the game. In other words, I'm not their lender, so I'm not going to judge them from that aspect. I'm not their marketing advisor, so I'm not making money off of that. Roles of lenders and me is to help these younger producers manage their way through these lean margin periods of time that we're going to be facing, and that agriculture has faced many times in the past, but that this generation maybe hasn't seen as much of.
Hopp says over the past 5 decades, he's seen ag resources become more helpful and farmers and ranchers become more connected to each other. As for the lender's role, they have become more savvy with the process of giving out loans, doing so based on the producer's ability to pay it back, rather the amount of collateral that they have. His goal today is simple.
Hopefully they'll walk away with options. They're going to come in and probably show us a balance sheet, income statements, tell us what their concerns are, tell us what their goals are, tell us, I'm at point A, I want to get to point B or C. How do I get there? That's what they can walk out of a one-on-one financial consultation with, some self-confidence that, okay, I got these 3 options I can perhaps pursue.
His ideal client? Someone considering a fairly major decision, like buying a farm or expensive piece of equipment.
Maybe just someone who, man, I've lost money in like 2 or 3 years in a row and I got to do something different.
Danielle Da Silva for Channel 8 News.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
If you walked outside, my goodness, is it a summer day out there? Well, we're starting to get that storm fuel, and this is exactly where the time we start to get some instability in the atmosphere. Notice, all right, they're starting to get theirs, but now there's going to be a sharp line out here. You can kind of see it just west of Scotts Bluff. That's going to be the line that moves towards the east and sparks off those thunderstorms. But notice high to almost extreme instability off towards northeast Nebraska. Here's a look at radar. This is pretty interesting, right? Got some cloud cover down here along and south of I-80. Meanwhile, the surrounding areas, a whole lot of sunshine. Northeast Nebraska has seen the most sunshine through this morning. Hint, that's why they got the highest storm fuel right now. Well, these clouds will start to move on out as we go into the next hour or two. This is really just some mid to upper level cloud cover. All right, just went over a whole lot of models and finally they are agreeing together. All right, so this afternoon, not much. We're going to keep that cloud cover in some areas. Should move on out. All right, as we go into about 6 to 8 p.m., we're going to start to see a strong storm or two form along this line out here just west of North Platte. Tracking this really storm right here. All right, it's going to be a little north of North Platte, but that's going to take a track towards the northeast. Now, this one could be a strong one, dropping some hail, some heavy rainfall, and some gusty winds. And then we got to watch out for these little southern storms, all right? We're going to be talking about 7 to 8 p.m. I would say just south of the Tri-Cities. That looks like Fairbury, parts of Hebron, Red Cloud, all right? Now that's going to move towards the east. Could see a little line of storms right there. And now that's when the low-level jet and all the low-level wind shear will start to give in to these storms, helping them intensify. That's going to be 8 to 9 p.m. Lincoln, Omaha, I would say if we do see some thunderstorm activity, our best chance will be from about 9 to midnight, all right? So that's going to be some hail and some winds. I'm watching this storm right here also for a potential tornado threat, and that's going to be from 8 to 11, that tornado threat. Notice, all right, there's a little single cell out there, and that's where you got to watch out for, as there is going to be an increased tornado potential for a few hours. Notice these storms down here could have some large hail and then some gusty winds. Really, across southeast and eastern Nebraska, gusty winds is going to be your main threat. Could see maybe an isolated brief spin up on the southern edge of these storms. And then there's midnight right there, 11 to midnight. That's really when your severe weather should end. And then we do have some scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms. Now, one of those could become severe as the low-level jet will be increased in northeast Nebraska. We'll keep you up to date, but here's what the risk looks like right now. Still the level 3 enhanced risk. Remember that line I was pointing out there? Storms will form and initiate out there, move towards the east, and then boom, right there. And then there's your 5%. Looks like a big old avocado. We could be seeing some EF1, maybe an EF2 tornado. I would say best threat is going to be from Columbus and north, and then off towards Sioux City right there. A little bit of a brief spin up possible further south and east you go. Large hail with those first cells, about tennis ball size hail. Really the main threat for us here in southeast eastern Nebraska, I would say would be those gusty winds, 60 to 65 miles per hour. All right, here's Wednesday. Looks just fine. Sunny skies. Looks dry. Overnight Wednesday going into Thursday morning. Could have our last breath of some severe weather, and that looks to be maybe along or just north of I-80. This would all have some damaging winds and some small hail for your commute. That's what it looks like. Lincoln, Omaha, level 2 slight risk for some winds and hail Thursday morning. Right now you can see the sun starting to peek on out. There's the sunshine. How about that? It looks like a nice day, but my goodness, is it muggy. There's the high pressure currently, but nothing happening right now. Temperatures low to upper 80s, 87 up in Omaha, 83, 84. Now what's the moisture looking like? All right, not too bad. Actually, better than what we've been seeing sometimes. And the heat index values 89, 89, York and Omaha. Another look at that radar right there. Not much happening except that line out there towards the west. Precipitation chances here in Lincoln, I would say 8:30 to about midnight. And then temperatures, all right, we should start to warm up to those 90s. And then the dew points will stay rising into those low to mid 70s. All right, it's going to feel like triple digits for the rest of the day, and then that's going to also continue tomorrow. So make sure, stay hydrated out there. We cool down before more rain storm chances this weekend.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still to come, helping our youngest with the Friendship Home of Lincoln is doing to get aid to our children, especially the ones they look after. Our live interview is next. Welcome back, everyone. Love to have Danny Jurgens with the Friendship Home here to talk about everything going on over there at the nonprofit. Danny, thanks for stopping by today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, so today we're going to talk about a little bit about what you guys do for the younger people that you guys take care of, correct?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people don't really think about those that are receiving, our services are children, and that's the majority of the people that we're serving is the young kids that are coming in with their parents.
On average, how many kids are you guys serving on a day-to-day basis?
On average, I'd say about 60% or more of those that we're serving are children, are minors.
So what sort of things put a strain on your staff when you are working with a little bit younger of people?
Yeah, we do have children's advocates that are there meant to work with the kids just alone, but it is a little different challenged children are, they're resilient, but they still also experience a lot themselves as well. So they need somebody to talk to and process through, and also a time to be a child, which is what we're there to try to create for them as much as possible.
Absolutely. So how can people in our audience help out?
Yes, they can always help out by volunteering. We can always use volunteers. It's summertime, so thinking about some of those summer donations, bug spray, sunscreen, outdoor toys, so the kids that are out of school can enjoy their summer and create some good memories as well. And of course, we always take monetary donations.
Absolutely. Is the summertime a little bit more busy for you guys with just kids being out of school and stuff, or does it kind of vary?
It varies. At times we can see, and I will say this summer our numbers are definitely increasing, so it really just varies and depends on each person's situation.
Other than the items you just mentioned, are there anything else that are you need right now that you might be not necessarily you're used to being low at this time of the year?
Yeah, so we can always take things like laundry detergent. That's one that always runs really low. Towels, kitchen supplies as well.
I feel like I'm always out of laundry detergent as well. With kids, you run out of laundry really quick as well. Where can people help out if they're, are watching this and want to check out your online presence?
Friendshiphome.org. We're also on Instagram and on Facebook.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, Danny, thank you so much for stopping by today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Alrighty, sounds good. We'll be right back, everyone. Please stay with us. Now, the Jed Foundation is focused on protecting emotional health and preventing suicide among teens and young adults. This year, they are honoring those who raised awareness and encouraged their peers to seek help and build support systems in their communities. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Watching loved ones struggle with mental health challenges inspired two young women to make a difference. The Jed Foundation's annual Student Voice of Mental Health Awards honors students doing outstanding work in their communities to promote mental health awareness and resources.
We have a responsibility and an opportunity as a society to help our young people grow and develop and foster their mental well-being.
This year's honorees, 17-year-old high school graduate Sarah Schelke and 21-year-old college senior Kyra Wagner.
I think mental health is something that students should be learning from a younger age, because it is something that people, start to suffer with from, no matter how young they are, really.
Determined to help others, Sarah founded a nonprofit called Mind for Youth, focusing on helping young people of color connect with mental health education, support, and resources.
I wanted to make a bigger difference on my community by helping more underserved youth around the world who weren't able to access mental health resources, whether that was due to financial limitations or just cultural barriers.
For Kyra Wagner, it's about a different kind of impact. She is being honored for her research on the effects of financial stress, mental health decline, and maternal mortality among Black women.
When you have financial struggles in the Black community, you're hoping to have like groceries and other stabilities. You're not worried about how to get mental health care.
But beyond her research, she also mentors young Black girls working to break down stigmas surrounding mental health in communities of color.
You could tell an older person in the Black community about what you're going through, and it's like, okay, go talk to God. Why would you need help if you can just go talk to God, which we've seen is not accurate.
For those two young leaders, what began as a personal experience has become a mission to help others. They each received scholarships, national recognition, and the opportunity to collaborate with the Jed Foundation. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Before we go to break, here's a live look outside at a hot Barry Law Tower camera. Final check of the forecast is next.
This right here.
How are we doing?
Well, I was just, making some forecast changes, making sure everything's good.
It's a busy day for you, man.
Yes, I know. Dealing with the heat, dealing with the severe storms. It's a summer day in Nebraska, I'd have to say. Hey, right now, I just brought up the heat index values. Why not? Upper 80s, lower 90s right now. Really not too bad, but we'll reach our peak here in the next few hours. So if you do have any outdoor plans, tanning or anything like that, make sure just to stay extra hydrated. There's a look at radar. You can see out towards the west a line of clouds that will move towards the east. That will spark our thunderstorms for this evening.
Yeah, busy day for you. All right, thank you very much, Houston. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is next. Hope you have a great rest of your day.